A guest once contacted me with some strange feedback the day after he had taken delivery. This particular gentleman seemed to be experiencing a sort of manic episode. He could not get over the fact that, in his words, this damn thing practically drives itself. I don't have to use the brakes entering corners. The car does it for me. Heck, I don't even have to take my foot off the gas. I didn't understand what he was trying to say at first. What do you mean you don't have to use the brakes entering corners, I asked, hoping he would slow down long enough for me to figure out what he was talking about. Then I figured it out. He was referring to the intervention of the electronic stability program on his new vehicle. He had, probably by happenstance, experienced one of the features of his onboard safety system. After one day with his new vehicle, he had decided to relinquish what years of prudent driving had taught him. The vehicle, he thought, would protect him from himself. Oh, that's your electronic stability program taking steps to try and prevent you from having an accident. It's there for emergencies, though. You must still do the driving, or you're going to end up in a wreck, I explained. Did you read your owner's manual? Not unlike my guest then, we should ask ourselves, when is the last time I read an owner's manual? Today's vehicles are amazing examples of engineering brilliance. One manufacturer may refer to their stability control program as the ESP system. Other manufacturers have different names for their systems, but there is typically a lot of similarity in the functionality of all these systems. The ESP system utilized telemetry gathered from various sensors within the vehicle. For example, this system may use data from the steering wheel positioning sensor, throttle positioning sensor, ABS wheel speed sensors, and input from onboard gyroscopes. These sensors consider a tremendous amount of data within a few milliseconds to determine what, if any, corrective action the automobile may employ in an attempt to keep the occupants safe. For example, to counter understeer, the system may initiate a burst of brake pressure to the turn's short radius rear wheel. The long radius front wheel may be called upon in similar fashion to counter oversteer. If the system senses too much throttle is employed, it may reduce fuel flow and/or ignition. All this sophisticated, expensive technology is in place to hopefully help keep us from testing the durability of that guardrail or oak tree just off the outer edge of the corner, as well as our vehicle's crumple zones and safety restraint systems, active and passive. The bottom line here is clearly that today's new vehicles are vastly complex collections of systems with a whole lot going on in a very short period. When we look through the owner's manual, we'll notice that at the bottom of nearly every section, it reads, "Refer to electronics section." Recently, a business manager colleague shared a related experience. He had a guest who was an engineer. This gentleman turned down the opportunity to take advantage of the VSC the day he took delivery. However, after having read his owner's manual, he was convinced he needed it and came back the next day to purchase the protection. We're just scratching the surface here. What sort of things can we learn, like the engineer, about the complexity of these systems from a simple read through an owner's manual? Think about it. Good luck and good selling.